So now what we're doing is putting all the parts of our pave, our special centerpiece almost for our dessert buffet. And what we're doing here is getting our trim ready for the cake, for our pave. So what I have here again are the two rectangular thin sheets of meringue, and I want to get this all in one place so I'm not spread out all over here. So we'll take all of this, put this over here. And we can't really, you really need a lot of this, so we're going to be using all of this for our pave, because it's a very special dessert, and it serves, you could serve 30 people depending on the size of the pieces. And again, how we do this is using the guiding hand. Get your knife here. So you don't want to cut things with your finger right there. Just keep your fingers and thumb out of the way. Okay. And when you practice that, we have some people that are really fast at that, but you want to be safe first, fast later. Okay. So we're going to start putting this together. And what I've done is I'm going to use my scale here because I don't want to get too much syrup on the cake, but I want to get enough. So we're going to lay this on here, and then on the scale we're going to measure approximately 4 ounces of this syrup using a pastry brush. So we're going to put 4 ounces of our simple syrup on here, and the simple syrup has been enriched with frangelico, which is one of my favorite liqueurs. Of course, it's hazelnut, so that goes with our hazelnut meringue. So what I'm doing when I do this is I have to make sure that all the pieces are equally moistened. So a lot of times the ends are left out, so we want to make sure that they're not. Gives me a little more stability when I hold it this way. So we're at 3.5 ounces. Now we're at 4. And when you pick this up, you can feel a little weight to it. You don't want it to be soggy, but you can feel it. And all this is going to, by the time you serve it, it's going to sink throughout the sponge. Okay, the next step is that we're going to need to get our French buttercream that we've made, and we're going to pipe that on. And so what we're going to be doing is layering our French buttercream and our hazelnut meringue and our cake with this and build this up. Okay, so we're going to pipe this on. And you don't have to pipe this too thickly, but enough to make sure that you have a nice layer between the meringue and the cake. Okay. And we'll put one of our layers on this, settle it in. So this is real crunchy. So you've got a moist, soft cake and a smooth, rich, fudgy frosting, icing, filling, and you've got the crunch of the chocolate hazelnut meringue. So you can't go wrong with this. Okay, then we're going to put a little more French buttercream. So the French buttercream's kind of the, you don't want to call it glue, but it does hold things together. Right, there we go. Put some cake. And what you want to do here is make sure, as you're looking at this, that you're not building the Leaning Tower of Pisa here. We want to have it straight because it makes it look more professional. And then we're going to tear this again, and we're going to put 4 ounces of syrup on this one as well. Okay. A bit over here. There we go. All right, and again, we're going to pipe on. Now, if you notice that one end or one space of it is higher than the other. You can fix that by choosing, you know, which ends of the cake to do. But this one looks pretty good. And we're going to reload. Stuff smells divine. Very chocolatey. Again, I use you know, the Belgian chocolate, which is my favorite. Alrighty. Over to the end. We're gonna, whoops. I put this end over here. It's a little bit thicker than the other end. We're gonna balance that out. Good. All right. Again, using your consistency issue, you're doing 90 degrees. I'm kind of squeezing this out with a little bit of pressure. And then we have our last chinois. And I think we even that out pretty well. You can always, if you're exacting, you can use a ruler to make sure, or you can just eye it, but this looks pretty good. And again, I just want to make sure that it's straight. And now is the time to do it, because you're going to refrigerate this and it's going to get impossible really to change. So while it's soft is the best time. Okay, I'm going to take it off the scale now. All right. And then I'm going to need my turntable, which I'll get in a minute, and we'll finish this off. Okay, now we're ready to decorate. So I have my trusty turntable here. Put this on over here. Now what we want to do is cover the sides and the top with some more French buttercream. So what we can do is, it's really hard to do that. You can squeeze, whoops. So we'll just apply this on at kind of a rapid pace, and then we'll smooth it out. Take care of imperfections later. So I'll just put this all on here really fast. Okay, this is kind of a fun dessert. It takes a long time to kind of get together, but when you finish it, it's just kind of fun. It's a kind of a contemporary take on a European dessert. So we're taking our straight edge, and we're just simply covering up the sides. And I always like to frost toward me. So I'm taking the spatula and going toward me so I can see what's going on. Now we're not doing this exact because it's kind of a arty thing. And if you think that it needs more, we don't want to see the cake. So we want to take a little bit of this and cover some of this. Looks good. You don't want it to squish over. Again, it's soft. And we take our offset, smear it on here like this. Okay, just want to keep it. Alrighty. So now we're going to decorate it with our hazelnut pieces, and we'll just put them on. Kind of fun, you know, don't have to be too exacting. So we have some more crispy on the outside, we have crispy on the inside. Put a few up here. So we don't really want to waste these meringue chips here. So, yeah. The ends need a little attention. Okay. like Chinese cooking, a lot of prep, and then at the end it goes together really fast. So, and I even use the crumbs, so we don't want to waste it. Put it all on there. Okay. Okay, now we're going to embellish the embellishments. Okay, now what I have to make it really spectacular, we're going to include our pot sucré cookies, and we're going to put some chocolate decorations on this. Some people would think this is enough, but we're going to continue. So I'm just going to put a little, periodically, just a little bit of the cream here and there. And I'm going to find a fun piece of chocolate here and stick it on. Any which way, because again, this has a contemporary feel to it, so we don't want it to be too geometric. In fact, we don't want it to be geometric at all. So we just kind of, this is where you kind of look at this and you kind of see where you want this. I'm going to put a little lengthwise, and I'm going to stick one lengthwise. And maybe one over here. Okay, and sometimes I take little chocolate shavings and I kind of put it here. Over here now. We'll take a little cocoa. Okay, and now we want some contrast. We want our We did the cocoa so that we'd have some pop with our lips. So we're going to stick those on. And this is our little whimsy. I'm going to stick our lips in here. We don't really need too many of the lips because they're such an outrageously pink color. So we don't want to overdo. But 3 is a nice number. And then we have 1 for either side. And they can go crooked or they can go straight. So we have our outrageous chocolate hazelnut meringue pave, an absolutely wonderful centerpiece.